what are your predictions for Bitcoin?
$150,000, 2024.
Really?
100%. I mean, it's not that far away. We've achieved mass adoption. We are at the cusp of a massive revolution whereby crypto is no longer seen as gambling money. It's really seen as a store of value. It's seen as a medium of exchange. It's seen as a bet against the US dollar and a bet against fiat.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last 4 years, the US dollar has lost 20% of its purchasing power. Purchasing power means your ability to buy a good, a service at a certain given price. So let's say you had $10,000. 4 years ago, you would have been able to buy something. Today, you would need $12,000 in order to buy that exact same thing. But you don't have that extra $2,000. So you have to work extra in order to generate that money, in order to generate your ability to purchase said thing. So what happens when they continue debasing your currency? You have to have assets that you want to flee to. That's the first thing. The second thing is, have you tried to send money overseas?
Yes.
It's the worst thing in the world.
It's a headache. The bank will put an excessive fee on the transaction, and then the exchange rate is terrible.
They'll ask you what you're doing with it. Sometimes it'll take 3-4 days to land. If it's a really big wire, sometimes it'll get flagged. You have to call the bank. You have to insert a PIN number. Mm-hmm. You have to get a text message. That text message you got to verify. With crypto, I can just send you money, peer-to-peer transaction, without really having to worry about it. A really cool thing now that I was telling you before, Telegram is rolling out your ability to send money through usernames, right? So you're going to have your Telegram username. I'm just going to be like, hey, Mike, here's $10,000 in USDT. Done, sent to you. I don't have to ask JP Morgan Chase whether I can send money to your HSBC bank account and fill out a wire questionnaire, and then that gets logged. So now we have an interconnection.
Surely the government's going to get involved with that, because like
at some point, absolutely. Unless it becomes so big that it's hard to stop. And that's where mass adoption needs to take place. That's where the peasants need to band together, just like the movie Bug's Life. Remember when all the ants got together?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you have to do. When all the small fish come together, they can actually dictate what the status and the norm is going to be. But it requires a lot of balls, and it requires a lot of courage to do so, because you might have to sacrifice your freedom. You might have to sacrifice your lifestyle. You might have to sacrifice your well-being for the pursuit of that freedom. And most people are just not willing to give that up. Most people like to live as comfortable slaves. And it's a very sad reality. But that's why building on the internet and finding what I like to call these glitches, right? These people that resonate with a message of authenticity, a message of a life where you don't have to censor yourself every time you open up your mouth, a life of deep freedom where you can believe whatever it is that you want